What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 312. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
I'm here with Adam.
This week we watched, I'm here with Adam too, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
65.
Yeah.
Instead of 55, it's 65.
Can't die. 65!
Everything wrong with this movie is everything I like about this movie.
I like the movie. I enjoyed it. Like, what, dude, whenever you realize it's like, oh, she doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right.
Because it was kind of like Earth,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Like, we've seen these movies before, but I enjoyed it. I was like, can he hold it? And he did.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
fine.
And they kept it short,
Yeah.
but everything went wrong. Like, if it could
Oh,
go
yeah.
wrong, dude,
Yeah.
it went wrong. When the shuttle failed, when the little escape pod fell, and it was like, it's upside down, you know?
Like, Adam Driver will get you there, but he is not a safe person to be with.
No.
What I mean by everything wrong with it is that, I'm honestly surprised this movie got made, honestly.
Yeah. Right.
Because it hits all the same check marks of a sci-fi B movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got a big budget production.
It looked
and
good.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it exists in a world where all of our movies are these weird, IPs. Like everything's monopolized now,
Yeah.
and for that it was refreshing.
Yeah. Well, when I was watching this, I'm like, they released this movie in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I could definitely see this as like, well, it's a stream, it's coming on Peacock or whatever, Paramount Plus or whatever.
Like this
It's
is
like-
a $5 movie all day.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, it's just nice that, and I don't know how much money it grossed. I don't know if it even made its money back because, I mean, there's not enough sci-fi there for sci-fi people. And I'm not sure how dinosaurs are faring outside of Jurassic Park these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least that version of dinosaurs. So, and the concept, the premise, and everything was simple enough. It's something that like.
Well, it's like it's on the like this movie would sit on the shelf with Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah.
Just a quick situational movie. You have
Yeah.
all the details you need to know for the plot to further. And it's just classic getaway movie. Like, we got to get to the fucking ship to get the fuck out of here.
I got the budget. So the budget
Okay,
for the movie.
Can I guess?
Sure.
I'm gonna guess that the budget was 80 million.
Okay. What about you, Trav? There's actually two numbers. There's the movie budget and then the budget. Posters,
Oh, okay.
advertising.
I'd say it's between 40 and 80 million.
All right. The movie's budget was 45 million, but
Oh, okay.
it was 90.
With
Think about
so
that.
they
Yeah.
spent more than double on promotional material.
Yeah. So it made
Fuck.
56.2 in the theater. I don't think it had like a super big release. It probably wasn't playing everywhere.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was playing in most places, but little mom and pop theaters.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see a poster at this theater for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it played there, but it's also like now it's on VOD for $20. So,
Right.
it'll make its money there
Yeah.
too. But that's crazy. Just imagine what you could do. Like, do we really
That's a whole
have
nother
to? All you
movie.
have to do is make a trailer and put it on YouTube.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, like,
That's crazy.
what I liked about the movie as well was that, one of the most popular types of videos that permeate through YouTube, all the streaming services, is of course not just the show Ancient Aliens, but anything pertaining to the topic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can get on
Yeah.
there and find hours of like, you know, either Graham Hancock coming up with pulling something out of his ass, or
Well, dude,
Yeah.
there's all these
all-
videos. It's like what we found. They've been hiding our history
Yeah.
from us. It's all
Yeah.
clickbait too. You'll watch it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have anything to do with the title.
and
Yeah.
you see, like for the first, I don't know, 10 up until the point when they're actually established on the planet, I felt like this was a movie angling in that direction.
Yeah.
But it's really not. What like and like at some point the movie finally clicked for me, or at least what I was like, okay, I think this is the idea.
Yeah.
Is that they established the whole a long time ago humans were really advanced, that type of shit. But really it's just the idea of like at one point in our planet's history, it was the most dangerous goddamn
Dude.
place in the fucking universe.
Yeah.
Don't eat.
Anything.
Oh yeah, like for instance, like I think the scene that made it be like, oh,
When they
shoulda had a
pulled the
VH
thing out of
stupid.
the
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the,
Oh my
the
God.
when they
small
saved it,
raptors
I
just
hated
tear it
that.
apart. Like I was like,
damn.
yeah, man, it's the hostility of our planet before mankind
Yeah.
that makes that's the the whole shabazz.
Yeah.
What about that fucking mouth
Why'd I
slug,
put
though?
dinosaurs on that
Ooh.
bitch? Dinosaurs on this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
That mouse slug thing fucking got me.
I thought
'Cause
she ate the berries.
I
When
did
she
too.
started
Yeah.
foaming, I was like, oh, she ate the berries.
Yeah.
But then when he popped, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and there's that fucking. I'm afraid. I don't like the idea of things crawling in my mouth. So like
So
that to me was like, ooh, that's worse than getting a machine sewn into my body.
so they can't so Adam Driver and his species of human or whatever, they come from a place called Planet Samaris.
Mm-hmm.
Were y'all thinking at one point that was like Mars for like?
Nah,
It's kind of, they were a little, he'd been traveling for
like 2 years.
that was
or
going to
a
be the
year.
full trip.
Yeah. So
And he was over a year.
Yeah.
You know, whenever she goes and watches the video clips, you're like, oh shit. Then it's when you realize it's like, oh,
Yeah.
his daughter died while he was gone.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
That's
too.
why he was going to kill
Yeah.
himself. But then when he
Yeah, I
realized
know.
somebody was alive, it was like, wait a minute. I enjoyed that. It was like, he was like, I got to get you out of here. And I thought like there was room for one person in the thing. Like he was just going to have to
Yeah.
stay. I just for sure thought something was going to happen to him. I was like, oh, they're going to get there and he's going to have to sacrifice himself.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought
So
it
as
was
soon
going
as
to
he
go
got
full
out, I was
Jeff
like,
Goldblum at the end there.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll distract the dino while you get the fuck out of Dodge. I thought that was how it was going to play out.
But then when that thing was over the top of him, I was like, oh, the fucking bone with the berries. Where's it
Yeah,
at?
they-
I
yeah,
knew
we-
she
yeah,
was
we-
going to come.
Well, we
Yeah.
get the full circle because I'm like, they showed us that geyser for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. The kid, like you said, took the, was like, let's make this dagger tooth a little poisonous.
Pretty smart for a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Now,
I wonder why they didn't go with the feathered design.
Because it looks goofy.
Well, yeah, but like I mean, me personally, I think I would have enjoyed that a little bit more.
It would have been cool.
Yeah, because Jurassic Park, they've already leaned into the
Yeah.
reptile look. They can't double back on that. But like,
well, if you guys remember with Jurassic Park, especially one of the newer ones that came out.
They did put some feathers on some of them.
Well, no, it's
Later on.
actually in the plot line where it's where I
Because
think
they
it's
use the
when-
frog.
yeah, like
That's what
they're
got
oh
rid
yeah,
of
that's
feathers.
right. They use
Ah.
reptile. Yeah, they use reptile DNA to like. Yeah, that's right.
But I think they optioned for that also because of familiarity, because that's been our perception of dinosaurs.
That's what
for
we were
so many
taught in
years
school.
now.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
But that would be fucking horrifying to see, like
But-
a goddamn.
John.
the
A giant
raptors were the right
chicken?
size.
Oh yeah, they were.
That was
They
cool.
did.
What about those
When I was-
fucking those egg eaters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Y'all
shit
talk
was
about
dumb.
like Joanna from that animated movie? When those things came out, I was like, "Oh fuck this Komodo dragon!"
Or
Like,
the fucking the Kula Yakul from Monster Hunter,
yeah,
like a feathered fucking chicken that steals eggs and shit. Um, I don't know if you guys thought about this at any point, but it crossed my mind. The whole setting, the idea of okay, advanced humans have landed on prehistoric Earth. That would be a really fun D&D campaign, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Well, and it's like the idea too. It's like they sent the distress beacon out. Like that, they really left it open to really kind of explore that whole ancient aliens thing because they sent the distress beacon out, all that good stuff. They could have definitely, went back because it's breathable. That means it's habitable, right?
mm-hmm.
The atmosphere. So like that could really open the door to like, okay, they crash landed, and then at the end they show the sequence where it's like the ice age happens and all this other stuff happens.
Yeah, and then you
That's
see
that and
the buildings and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they could follow up with it where it's like, instead of
Well,
65, it's like 45 or whatever, and it just kind of snowballs into that.
well, from the perspective of the of Adam Driver's character, I felt like one of the first briefings that would happen was he'd show back up, be like, "Yeah, this fucking happened," blah blah blah, and you're like, "So what'd you land on?" And you're like, "The planet was perfect for habitation,
Yeah, put
but
it
it
on the
got
list.
destroyed by an asteroid."
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? I mean, unless they're aware, unless they look at asteroids hitting planets the same way you look at wildfires, like
Yeah.
it's just a pattern of nature that reboots the land.
Right.
Outside of that, it would feel like that would be like, okay, we can come back and like that planet's wrecked for a while. Like we can't,
Yeah.
you know, it's a reason why nothing's come back.
Yeah.
Was there no moon?
I
Yeah,
didn't see. Was there?
yeah,
Was there a
because
shot
it
with a
was
moon?
just yeah, there was a shot where it's the first time we see it's when the girl notices that there's that the asteroid's on its way
Yeah,
because you see it in the sky. That's the moon.
yeah, I remember that
And I
shot.
and I believe there's one or two shots where you see the meteor or asteroid passing over the moon, and it's like it's getting hit with the little small debris and stuff. Yeah, there were a couple moon shots in the movie. I think I was talking to somebody who had seen this as well, and they made a good comment. This movie would have killed it if it had came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like it would have swept the box office.
Oh
I
yeah, for
think
sure.
I
Yeah.
think if with it coming out now and the way we do movies not too, because this is also a movie that suffered from
John
trailer
Wick.
spoiling.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean everything
yeah.
falls to
Wick
John
came out
Wick.
and made $100 million. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah. Financially speaking, absolutely. John Wick came in and cleaned house like he always does. But I feel like with the type of movie that it is, this is a perfect '90s, early
Yeah.
2000s like
Even the runtime.
situational movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think had it came out then, and I don't see a reason why this movie couldn't have existed then. And I bet you, if you go digging through the trenches of B movie stuff, would probably find a movie with the same fucking plot.
Yeah.
Maybe some stuff a little different, but I was surprised that there was no time travel. I'm surprised at how clear cut the movie was. It's like, no, dude, like
Yeah.
these are humans from another planet. They're out fucking doing human shit. They land on ancient Earth and they were like, Earth go hard, and then they leave. Like,
Earth did
Yeah. It
go hard.
was. Yeah.
Too hard.
It was cut and dry, man. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So, but
they went and they got to see the death metal cover of the Circle of Life.
yeah, yeah, right. Circle of life. But yeah, all in all, I enjoyed it. Is it something that I'm going to watch again? Probably not anytime soon. I mean, kind
I
of
know
got
the
my
I know
feel.
Yeah, but this is absolutely a movie though that you're gonna put on the shelf of like there's that certain moviegoer watcher that you know in your family or your friends that you're like, this is right up their fucking alley, man. You know?
Yeah. Well, and
Uh,
this is kind of like perfect for people that want like an action type esque movie that isn't like overly gory or has a lot of profanity or
Or
anything. Because
not a lot of talking really at all. It's a lot
yeah,
of physical acting. Like it's like, okay, they gotta fucking fight the T Rexes and the damn raptors and
I like
shit.
that
Like,
though because like since the girl can't talk, like they're not having these stupid fucking conversations while they're walking.
yeah,
yeah,
right,
You know,
absolutely. It's very basic communication that they're needing to have, you know?
yeah. But yeah, all in all, I thought it was a pretty decent movie, and I would
Yeah.
recommend it to people like that. That's wanting something that's not
I'm just saying,
brutal or
if I could buy one of those badass water flasks he had, I'd probably get it.
yeah, yeah. He put the berries in there, and it's like, He's like, see,
yeah. Don't
no,
eat.
It's his bag of holding, man.
yeah. I want one of those Wayfinder things that he had where he points it at the
Yeah, that was
stars and
cool.
it's like, yeah, there's an asteroid
Well,
coming, bitch. Like,
well, I think we said this when we watched the trailer, man. It's almost like this movie, if they had gotten if they could have got the copyright or the license for it, they could have rewrote it in some shape or form and just made this a Turok movie,
yeah,
or
right, yeah,
Ark,
yeah,
Ark with a plot, you
yeah.
know.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a half star. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was just an average
it's a it's
dinosaur action flick.
it's a yeah it's a B plus one and done, man.
Yeah. And Adam Driver, like, it's crazy that he agreed. Like, and this isn't anything knocking
I get
on.
what you mean though.
Yeah,
Like,
because like he was Kylo Ren. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
like he
it's
was nominated for Oscars.
yes, yeah, and he's making this action dinosaur movie. Like,
Well, it's testament to show you that maybe the guy just like there's actors out there that get to a caliber where they're like, I don't go below this type of movie, you know.
yeah,
But then you got people who genuinely love their craft,
yeah,
and
it's
this
like
is a
Brad
guy.
Pitt, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those movies
Yeah,
where it's like, dude, this guy just clearly just likes to act in movies, man. Like this is
yeah. Well, he wanted to get that facting out before he got cast in something Marvel related. You know what I'm saying?
well,
Yeah,
So you
like
tie up the next 15 years.
I've seen a couple of these little like I don't know if you'd call it a documentary. But like as far as I know, he still goes to like little impromptu groups and classes and does like he just does small shit that doesn't even get filmed really, and he'll just sit there and try to just get better at what he does. And it's crazy to think that this is the guy that was like the dude in Girls,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
he's come a
because
long way.
Yeah,
I've had to sit through that show because of my wife, and knowing the kind of character he plays in that show and seeing what he's become now as like a movie actor,
yeah,
leaps and bounds, man.
It makes sense that it was done by the guys that did A Quiet Place.
yeah.
It was kind of
Well,
shot the same. Like the looked really
I didn't re-
good.
well, I didn't realize they cooked this in Sam Raimi's kitchen, dude.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Raimi's like,
when
I
I
love
originally
dinosaurs.
dropped the trailer, that was why it was because it was tagged with Raimi. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Raimi was like,
producer, right?
yeah, he's like, I'll bring the oven.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a half star.
Um, I'm gonna give it. I think it's definitely. I don't think it's a 3-star film by any stretch of the imagination. I think because of all of the good merits that it has outside of being the movie, the movie mine's going to be a asterisk star. it is a half-star film, but I'm gonna give it a full star because
It deserves two.
that they
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
like we've been echoing throughout the conversation. Like these movies don't get made a lot anymore.
No.
These kind of quick, like I don't expect there to be a sequel. Don't want a sequel, you know.
Yeah.
But good adventure movie, good survival, good that type
Yeah.
of thing. And for that, I think it deserves a 2 out of 3.
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of the sad part about it is like, we watched it, the movie's going to come out, it'll probably generate a little bit of buzz whenever it starts streaming and everything, and then it's just going to get absorbed into the ether. Like reality, like just looking at it from a reality standpoint, like, and it sucks that we're getting so much content that happens now. It's a good thing and a bad thing, so.
I think it'll get picked up a lot more at Red. It's in Redbox,
Yeah. Oh
which
yeah.
you can watch online. Plus, they still have those.
Yeah.
You know.
There was one at the dollar store.
Yeah,
So.
the Publix has one. I'm
Yeah.
like, really, Redbox? Every now and then I'll go over there and look because I'm like, what's in this? You know,
Yeah.
it's a Redbox movie.
Yeah.
I mean, someone will pick it up.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little action flick. Ooh, Adam Driver.
Yeah. He
Let's
was good at
go.
Girls. Yeah.
But paying $25 to watch this on Amazon Prime. Ooh,
No. Or going to the theater,
yeah.
you know. Speaking of going to the theater, I went to the theater Sunday, Trav.
So you went and watched Rise.
Yes.
Is it as good as people have been saying it is?
I'm gonna give it a pre-star.
Or
It will.
does it hit the beats that we have come to expect?
Oh yeah, for sure. Lee Cronin is definitely a fan of all of the Evil Dead work.
Also,
For
he
sure.
he does some touches on it all.
Oh, he hits a lot of high points in it, man. The pacing of because the movie was only like an hour and 30 minutes at most.
Oh,
And
so it grabs you by the throat and pulls you right along.
oh yeah, for sure, yeah. And it keeps you engaged the whole time. And it wasn't to me, it wasn't as like gory as the 2013 version.
Yeah.
But it still had its moments where it was just like, ugh,
But
you know what I
Balls to the
mean?
wall.
does it
Yeah.
dials up certain things a little more than that one did?
Well, yeah, there is one part where when it goes, whenever it goes finally off the rails, and whenever we watch it, you'll see what I mean. But like at a certain point, it falls off the track,
Okay.
and you're like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" Yeah. So it's a good mixture, and there's a lot of good callbacks, a lot of good references.
Like Bruce Campbell gets to be there without being there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah. Um,
Did it make
very
that timeline that I posted a while back? Did it put that more in perspective, I guess?
Yeah, it kind of like hints around at that a little bit without like diving too deep into any of it. So
But overall though, does it still become a classic like family in a cabin, got to deal with the evil?
yeah, I mean it takes place in a high rise. It takes place on one floor of the high rise, and like it's not just like the one family. There's a couple of other different people that live on that same floor that the Deadites kind of get involved with.
Mhm.
But it focuses on the family aspect, which is it's a little bit different because in all the other Evil Dead stuff that we've had, it's focused more on like a friend group,
Yeah.
or a relation like a male and female relationship aspect.
So
In this,
does it kind of raise questions like how would you handle seeing a family member succumb to the Deadites?
yeah, I mean it definitely tackles that several times.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, and it adds a different layer, a different thing to it because like the kids in it, it's weird, man. We're getting to that fucking age now where it's like, I'm like, are these kids? Or are these like kid adults? Does that
Right.
make sense?
You're like this 18, 19-year old's actually supposed to be passing as a 14.
Well, I mean, like, I mean, the kids are driving around and stuff, and I'm like, but are they? I don't know. It's a whole different debate that I was
Like they're
having an
kids to
internal
us,
debate.
but they're not
Yes.
kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly it.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but once I got over that, like, whole dilemma in my head for 5 minutes of me getting older and gonna die sooner rather than later and all that stuff, like, once I got over this fucking midlife crisis
Yeah,
that I
so
had
have
at
a
the
fucking
beginning.
meltdown right there in the middle of the theater.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
dude.
die
Like
one
that's
day.
the real Evil Dead is the
Yeah,
fucking the mental
exactly.
rot you start thinking when you're like,
Yeah.
You're like, have I made the right choices?
Yeah. I look over at Marina and I'm like, what? She's like,
should
what are
I,
you looking at me for? And I'm
you're
like,
like,
oh,
you're like, should I have invested in Bitcoin at 13?
yeah, right. But yeah, it was definitely a full star in my opinion. It holds true. Like Evil Dead has been the only franchise, like horror franchise, in my opinion, that's had no bad anything.
Well, I think that's also the genius of Sam Raimi's doing though,
Oh yeah, for
because
sure.
as much as Evil Dead is great and fun to watch and everything, when you take away the rose-colored glasses, you got to try. You got to willfully try to fuck up an Evil Dead plot.
Yeah.
I mean, it
And,
kind of writes itself, you know.
yeah. And dude, there was some really good humor parts because like this is one thing that a lot of the kids that was in the theater, like, know their midlife crisis, but anyway, the other kids in the theater was like they didn't understand because like we grew up on Evil Dead. So the Deadites are like they like insult you to the fucking core to the
Oh
point
yeah,
that it's
they're trying to
funny.
shake you.
Yes, to the point that it's fucking hilarious. And there was
Yeah,
points in that movie where I laughed out loud and people were looking at me. And I'm like, you don't fucking understand. Like this has Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi fucking all over it. You know what I mean? So little moments like that were great. Like it was
yeah.
a good
Like
fun ride.
to be vulgar for a moment, yeah. Like there's always that deadite that's like, yeah, you want to come down here and let me suck your dick, or you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
Suck your
fuck
cock,
you?
pretty boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me what you got, biggin. You know, like that's, well, yeah. It's meant to shake the fucking character. Like you're
Yeah.
fucking like,
It's like
well,
Linda
like
Blair.
the whole thing
Yeah.
about evil shit is that it knows how to like irk you. It knows how to get in your head.
Yeah. But yeah, full I'm giving it a pre-star. I can't wait to watch it again, to be honest. Like it was that good to where whenever it went off, I was like, I could go back in there and watch it again because I know there's stuff that I missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like if it's made by someone that you're like, yeah, this dude loves the series and the IP,
Yeah,
then there's probably a million things that like you were wrapped up in just, oh my god, new Evil Dead, that you don't pick up, you know,
yeah, yeah,
because you're not
and,
like because unlike a lot of people on the internet that get like advanced screenings and they can watch it at like 1.5 speed or some shit, you know.
yeah,
They make their little stupid top 10, like, here's what you missed when you watched Evil Dead Rise.
yeah. And they had a lot of the signature stuff too, where like the the POV shot
Hmm.
that was in there, of course, and then the angles and stuff.
Oh, did they
Like,
try to, like, because that, to me, I'll always be like, that's one of the coolest low budget things that they did was
yeah,
when they strapped the camera on the dirt bike and just hauled ass through the woods. And
yeah,
that weird noise was just them pitch shifting the sound of the dirt bike or the four wheeler or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, they do that. They do the weird angles where like certain things are happening and they'll zoom in and tilt the camera and stuff. So there was a lot of Raimi, there was a lot of Campbell involved in it, and it was well made, man. Lee
Like,
Cronin,
like,
like I'm
like,
a fan.
like handled with respect.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
It's
That's
gonna
cool.
have a
absolutely.
digital release May the 9th, so it won't be too long before we get to
May
watch
the
it.
9th.
Yep.
That's in
It'll
7
be on
days.
iTunes and then in June
Yeah.
they'll drop the Blu-ray.
So next week or
Yeah.
week after next we could legitimately do it, you know? Hey, I'm gonna say though, I'm not upset. Like I went to the movies, paid my money, watched the movie, and it's coming out in a week. Like we'll be able to watch it in a week,
Should be
and
able
I'm
to
not
watch it right
upset.
after Shazam.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm not upset that I went and paid the money to watch it in the
Yeah.
theater. But you know,
Well,
I
remember
hope
it was going to go straight to streaming,
yeah,
and
and
then
they're
they were
like,
like,
this is
"Oh
too
no,
good.
this gets
Yeah,
a release."
Well,
Like,
I
yeah,
mean, just because the access to some of these big budget movies get made available way quicker than they used to, that doesn't take
that
away
don't
from
mean
the
it's
fact that
bad. Yeah,
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 they
like, well,
just
that's the thing. You've got something over me and Adam with it. You got to enjoy this on a really big screen, a theater experience. Like the moments that me and Adam are probably going to find throughout the movie where we're like, oh my god, whatever. You got to have that amplified.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And I mean, same. I mean, I feel like I had a similar experience when I went and watched Batman.
yeah,
Like I felt like it was available a lot quicker after I'd went and saw it too, but I didn't feel, I didn't feel
cheated.
like, yeah,
yeah,
not at all,
Nah,
man, not at all.
yeah.
So that's cool.
And I got to sit in a recliner with heated seats, and there was maybe 10 or 15 people in there counting
See,
us.
you got to be careful though with that good seating though, man, because I don't know about you, but a dark theater, good movie, real comfortable, my ass is liable to go to sleep.
I can't
Oh,
lean
dude.
back.
No, dude, I was afraid that once I hit that tilting point,
Yeah,
that point of
Yeah.
no return, that it was going to be over for me.
Well, once you
Nah,
get the
dude,
foot prop,
the
you're
movie held
done.
you. It was like,
the
nah,
movie, it sucks you in right
yeah.
out of the gate, like legit. And then I
So,
was in.
without necessarily going into spoiler territory, did that thing that I was talking about last week, did it have any kind of tie into that where it's like we're dealing with the 3 different Necronomicons from Army of Darkness, or is that just purely something you think is like a fan
Uh,
theory?
well, it's not a fan theory because I did a little digging into that, and like when we watch the movie, of course we can dig a little bit deeper, but Lee Cronin has done interviews to where he said that his version of it is is the same but different. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, well,
So
cool. I'm
he's went on
excited.
record to kind of like beat around that bush a little bit. So
Well, hell yeah. Excited, man. It'll be the next few weeks of movies because we're leading into June Wick, man. It's gonna be entertaining.
yeah, and John Wick 4 will be coming out what at the end of this month, I
I
think.
think
I'm
so.
Yeah.
I've never been this excited to tackle a series of movies in a while.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Because really, I'm only going off the information of the first movie, and I'm gonna enjoy rewatching it. And
Yeah,
then we're gonna be like all the others are gonna be fresh watches for me. So I'm excited.
yeah, same. So we got a little bit of movie news here. So Taika Waititi to direct adaptation of Ishiguro's Clara and the Sun. So Taika Waititi has definitely proven himself to be one of the most eccentric and entertaining directors in recent years. His unique comedic work meriting diverse acclaim and even a number of awards, such as an Oscar for his historical comedy Jojo Rabbit. He's been keeping plenty busy with more projects in the pipeline, including an upcoming biographical sports comedy drama called Next Goal Wins, and he's now got yet another one to add. Per the report from Deadline, Waititi is set to direct the cinematic adaptation of Clara and the Sun, with Sony's 3000 Pictures overseeing the project. Clara and the Sun is based on a Kaz- Kazuo Ishiguro's 2021 New York Times best-selling novel of the same name. The adaptation will be helmed by Taika Waititi in a particularly interesting new direction for him, as it's definitely a genre shift from the more comedic content that he's used to creating. Of course, we could see something akin to Jojo Rabbit, which had plenty of comedy mixed with some incredibly emotional moments. The script will be written by Davi Waller, while Watiti will likely also co-produce with Harry Potter alum David Heyman and Garrett Bash. The project will be under Heyman's Heyday Films, both Jeffrey Clifford and Rosie Allison of the company having initially approached with the idea. Author and Nobel Prize winner Ishiguro will serve as executive producer alongside both Allison and Clifford. While there are very few details yet about the film's plot, the premise of the novel follows a robot girl named Clara who was created to prevent teenagers from becoming lonely. She resides with a family whom she does her best to save from heartbreak. Taika Waititi's got a lot under his belt.
We have a
Well,
trailer of a
I
movie he
think
directed.
I think I mean, and maybe it's just me. Of course, this is just my opinion, but I feel like Love and Thunder and Ragnarok has set an example for Watiti that he needs to get away from.
Yeah.
Well, that the next
Especially,
goal or next goal wins. That's a soccer movie, so he's trying to,
yeah, he's
Yeah.
got to
you
get
know,
he's got to bring him back in to take him serious
yeah,
because Love and Thunder really kind of put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths for him.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too.
And not just as a
It's
film, I'd say a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well. Because remember when him and Tessa Thompson and them all got in
yeah,
trouble for God knows what, but I remember it making a headline.
yeah. I mean, is he going to get to the point of like quality fatigue? Because I mean, like we saw Love and Thunder was kind of like it
Well,
was what it was for its
well,
good things and its bad things,
it
but
almost became self parody, and
yeah,
I feel like whenever you're a comedic person, you have to be able to keep your comedy fresh. Otherwise, you just become like you're just making fun of yourself at some point.
yeah,
And you need that reinvention to kind of kick in and help a little bit, you know?
yeah,
Like Chris Pratt, for instance. Yeah, he's still a funny guy. He still does funny roles. But going from chubby stoner Parks and Rec guy to
yeah,
fucking Star Lord,
yeah,
I mean, we kind of, you know, or hell, even the Terminal List, if we want to like
yeah.
just cut off comedy altogether, you know?
right. So yeah, it's interesting, because we talked about Akira either last week or week before last. He's got this soccer flick coming up. He's got Star Wars that he's
Yeah.
working on. He's picking Clara and the Sun up. So it's like, I mean, he's lining himself up for the next several years, and it's
Um,
like, I hope we
I,
don't get diminishing returns here. He's 47 years old.
well, I hope as far as like the Japanese stuff, and I'm gonna throw Gundam in with this as well because even though he's not attached to it, Gundam and Akira are two of are like the two films that I'm extremely excited about. But it's also at that point where I don't want to hear anything about it until we have like a teaser now or some sort of substantial update. Like I'm almost out of I'll believe it when I see it, you know.
Yeah, I get that because a lot of that stuff's been in the pipeline
Mm.
for many,
Years.
I'd
many
be really
years.
surprised if the Akira movie gets made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really would.
Honestly, like
I think the
considering
Gundam
what that
stuff's already underway, right?
yeah,
yeah, I think the
Yeah.
last substantial thing we saw about that was when ILM released concept footage of it of what they were going to try to make Grandpa look like, and I was like, okay.
yeah. Oh. Next up here, Markiplier. Do you guys know Markiplier?
Oh, yeah.
I I haven't been following it completely. My kid's a Markiplier fan, um, and I've seen some of his vlogs where he has explained like what he's doing, why he isn't. Because I mean, he's one of those people that play like the survival games, like Amnesia, games where you're just exploring and trying to get out of stuff. Like that seems to be his his target game demographic type of thing that he does.
Right.
And I mean, he's up there with
Oh,
PewDiePie as
dude,
far as
he's
I
been doing
mean,
it forever. Like,
yeah, like
Yeah.
he's on the Hall of Fame of YouTubers
he has
for
made
sure.
his money. He made his bag a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um, I've also seen some of his little short films he's done. Just like
Yeah.
he's him doing an actual film has been look like it's been like a nexus that he's working towards for years now because he's he's done. I think he's done 3 or 4 films. 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 He's done 3 he's done like mostly like comedic slash
Yeah.
odd stuff, you know, very heady.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I don't know anything about this film other than he was making it and he did some vlogs being like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm tired as fuck, but we're filming a movie. It's a lot of fun." That type of shit, you know.
Yeah. So he's working on his directorial debut film called Iron Lung. So that's a wrap on Iron Lung. Recently, it was reported that the YouTuber Markiplier was filming the horror film, which is based on the computer game of the same name. He was reportedly self-financing the film and will star in addition to directing. It was also reported that Markiplier was producing with Will Hyde and Jeff Guerrero, while Caroline Rose Kaplan will also star. Taking to YouTube on Saturday, Markiplier posted a new video simply titled I'm Back. He announced at the start of the video that he has finally done filming Iron Lung. He says that the journey took much longer than he ever thought it could, but with filming wrapped on this project, Markiplier says he will have more time to return to making more content for his YouTube channel. I've been missing making videos a lot more than I ever thought I would. Uh, the YouTuber says in the clip, just the regular routine of making videos getting interrupted by going out and filming something even bigger. Technically, still making a video, just one very big, intense video, but I'm finally done. He added, "It's great to be able to commit yourself to something so fully, and I can't wait to tell you about it. And I know you have so many questions about it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer a lot of them, but I can tell you I am incredibly proud of what we are making here, and I'm incredibly proud to bring this game to life in a movie. Like such an incredibly rewarding experience." So there's a teaser trailer for it, and
I put
I
it
don't
in
know what.
trailers.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what Iron Lung is. I don't even know if I've
Never
ever
heard of the
heard
game.
of it, but I'm interested to see how this goes because I mean, at the end of the day, like whenever you're making your own self-produced content, you kind of get the training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More or less for directing, how to shoot things, how to do all this stuff. So it's very interesting to start seeing that kind of that
He's been at
bridge
it
being
over
gapped.
11 years.
Yeah.
And, he's 33 now. He's moving into I want to be more than just a YouTuber.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, Iron Lung video game came out in 2022. It is a first-person submarine simulation horror game. The player controls an unnamed victim who explores an ocean of blood on a desolate moon in a small, rusty submarine nicknamed the Iron Lung. So I mean, that sets itself up perfectly to be adapted to a movie. So if this gets released, or when this gets released, we should definitely check it out
Yeah.
and peep it. Because I mean, I'm not a big Markiplier fan, but I would definitely check it out just to kind of see what its chops are.
Yeah.
So so next up here, Dodgeball 2 is now in development with Vince Vaughn returning. So after many rumors, it looks like Vince Vaughn will be back with a new Dodgeball sequel. As announced by Deadline, the follow-up to the 2004 hit is now in early development at 20th Century Fox. Vaughn is expected to also produce the new movie, although there are currently no details of what the plot will be and who else from the original movie could be returning to the franchise. The original movie was written and directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber. What a name. But it has not been confirmed yet whether he will have any involvement in the sequel. When it comes to casting on the movie, the film is going down the legacy route, as many other recent sequels to older movies have. Then there are plenty of names that could be called on to join the movie. The original cast include Ben Stiller, Christine Taylor, Justin Long, Alan Tudyk, Chris Williams, Gary Cole, Jason Bateman, and even William Shatner, as well as the late Rip Torn in a forever memorable role. The original Dodgeball was a raunchy comedy of its time. And while it was a box office success, the film did gain some mixed reviews, as most comedies of that kind do. However, audience loved the movie, and the idea of a sequel is something that has been discussed on many occasions in the past. Back in October last year, it seems that a breakthrough on the sequel was nearing fruition. So I mean, what do you guys think about
Love
Dodgeball
it.
sequel?
I mean, nobody ever makes me bleed my own blood.
I want to see Ben Stiller get back in those
Yes.
characters
I
that he
mean,
used
this
to
was
play in every movie. You
those
know,
are
just the
yeah.
over the top, just
Yeah,
Well, it's almost like when you think about it, Ben Stiller did so much for the comedy movie genre that tends to get overlooked. I feel like
Tropic
sometimes.
Thunder, dude.
yeah,
Like,
right, yeah,
Well,
whoa.
I mean, what's and the shitty thing about Tropic Thunder is that the reason it stays in people's memory is just because of Robert Downey Jr. playing a black guy. When there's so much more to that
Yeah.
movie that makes it fucking incredible and hilarious.
Well, it's so good it didn't get canceled. I mean,
yeah,
they
Yeah.
tried, but it was like, nah, that fucking movie's good, dude. You have to cancel
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
else.
But yeah, Dodgeball, fucking Zoolander. I mean, even echoing as far back as There's Something About Mary.
Yep.
Like,
hmm
Stiller was killing it. And
Heavyweights.
I would argue that he still is.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, here is what I would like to see as a plot, right? Because the some of the best parts of the movie was the back and forth between Vince Vaughn's character and Ben Stiller's character, right?
The Bance was like the best dialogue in the film.
Yeah. So I would love to see like Ben Stiller, you know, he plateaued. He made some bad investment choices. He had to sell his gym out, and like he's on hard
Oh,
times.
yeah.
And you know, good guy Vince Vaughn, you know what I mean? Who's just like, oh, you know, we'll do whatever. And then that's how it kind of comes back
Oh
up, and
man. And
they team up.
he recruits him for the team, but when he does, like he does it like a classic villain where he's like, when your back was against the wall, the only one you could turn to was me.
Yeah,
You know, kind
yeah,
of mustache twirly, you know.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. Put them on the team together. Make them have this weird power struggle. You know, make a secondary plot where Ben Stiller's like, because you know the whole idea was he was going to buy the um the place out and like build his own, tear it down and build his own gym there. So
Yeah.
like have this weird subplot going on where he still wants to do that after all these years. You know, after 20 years, and you know you could really
No,
throw some cool, interesting stuff in there and make it funny.
yeah, and now that got me thinking about this as well, dude. As far as just spitballing like sequel ideas, I know that it would only be a small group of people that would be like, "Oh shit, totally down to watch." But I would love a heavyweight sequel
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
where Tony
right.
Perkis comes back
Yeah.
Do it.
and like he's refined, but like the movie plays out like Joker, where Tony Perkis is like a really good guy again, but you just see him descend into madness. And he's like,
Man.
everyone will achieve perfect fitness under my watch. you
Yeah.
know?
But yeah, I'm excited. I used to watch Dodgeball
Love
quite
it.
a bit. You know,
It
it was
was
one of those
it was one of those
background.
Comedy Central marathon movies sometimes,
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah. I mean, Justin Long will be back in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
he's down with anything. So they can. And Alan Tudyk, I mean,
Like, he's going to make another Tusk movie. He's down, you know?
yeah, right.
speaking of speaking of Alan Tudyk, have either of y'all given Resident Alien a chance at all?
I haven't watched
I've
it.
seen some of it. I did watch like maybe most of the first season.
Love the voiceover like
Yeah.
Dexter thing that he does where he's because the whole thing is Griffin is he's an alien that's landed on Earth.
Yeah. We watched the trailer for it. That's why when it came out, I was like, I gotta check that out. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and the
remember
whole
peeping the trailer on it.
yeah the whole thing is he's just an alien that's able to figure shit out. He's like, yeah, he did it, like like.
Yeah,
But nah, D pulled it up the other night, and I had some coworkers that really praised it, and I finally just gave it a gander. And it's not necessarily something I'd tune in every week, but
right.
it's got some good comedy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's great.
Oh
It's
yeah,
him that sells it.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because they've tried these. There's been a few over the years, and I've tried to check them all out where there's aliens, you know. They're living
trying to
like people.
assimilate in the human
You know, they
lump,
had the
yeah.
one where they were like, there was a cul-de-sac where the family lived.
Yeah,
Tried that one out. It wasn't bad, but it didn't hold up.
it
Got
wasn't
canceled.
third
Well, when,
rock from the sun.
Yeah,
You
there
know,
you
yeah,
go.
much
they were trying.
or I don't know. Do you guys remember when we were kids? There was a show on Nickelodeon called The Secret World of Alan
I
Strange.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Jesus.
is that The Secret World of Alex Mack? I know they crossed over.
Alex Mack
where it's
was
the
the water
alien and
chick.
the liquid
Yeah.
puddle girl or whatever. But it's like, yeah, we're different. We're trying to fit in. Shenanigans ensue.
Filing cabinet hadn't been opened in a minute, Trav. It had
Oh,
a
dude.
screwdriver jammed in it. So the writer's strike goes into effect as WGA negotiations has failed.
I
So
was
the writers,
hoping we were going to cover
Same.
this because I was completely unaware that we were this close to like this actually happening.
right?
And yeah. So yeah, fill in the deets.
So the Writers Guild of America has gone on strike after negotiations with major studios failed to produce a favorable contract, marking the first WGA strike in 15 years. The strike seeks to address a variety of issues, including higher pay and better working conditions, as well as concerns about technological changes disrupting the entertainment industry. Negotiations, yeah, thanks a lot, Russo. You
Yeah.
know, um, uh, let's see. Negotiations between the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers have been ongoing for a month, but the deadline for a new contract was not met. The AMPTP claimed that it had presented a comprehensive package proposal to the Guild, but the magnitude of other proposals made by the union were deemed untenable. Late on Monday evening, the Writers Guild of America took to Twitter expressing their dissatisfaction with the studio's responses to their negotiation efforts. Despite the WGA's intent to make a fair deal, they felt that the studio's responses had been wholly insufficient, particularly given the existential crisis writers are currently facing. As a result, the WGA announced that they would begin picketing the following afternoon. Nearly 12,000 riders could potentially join picket lines in the upcoming days, leading to significant disruptions to TV and streaming franchises. So, this is what they tweeted. The board of directors of the WGA West and the council of the WGA East, acting upon the authority granted to them by their memberships, have voted unanimously to call a strike effective 12:01 a.m. Tuesday, May the 2nd. The decision was made following 6 weeks of negotiation with Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney, Warner Brothers, Discovery, NBC
God
Universal,
damn.
Paramount Plus, and Sony under the umbrella of the AMPTP.
That's not good.
Yeah, it ain't gonna last
at
long.
all. Like,
Yeah. According to Gizmodo, negotiations have hit a roadblock due to several issues, including concerns about the role of artificial intelligence in Hollywood's writers' rooms. Many creatives fear that new forms of automation may displace or alter their roles in the entertainment industry. The rise of screenwriting, chatbots, deepfakes, and AI generated voices has led some industry figures suggesting that software could soon be writing TV shows and movies. It is clear that the challenges posed by these technological shifts are forcing the entertainment industry to consider the implications of automation on their workforce. The WGA is calling for better job security and protections for writers amidst these technological shifts. So Seth Meyers addressed the writer's strike on a late night segment. So I don't watch Seth Meyers.
I saw this clip because I was
I
like,
think
writer's
this
strike.
is. Can I make a point though? I think this is very very puffed up and blown up out of proportion way
Well, like
more
all of
than it
the
is.
late night people, they're not going to come on TV.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
like,
I remember
'cause-
watching Conan during the writer's strike, and he still had a show.
Yeah.
Like this time, they're like, we stand with the writers. You
well,
can't
like,
have a show
well,
without writers, you know?
well, my thing specifically with AI, the AI is only going to spit out what you're asking it for.
Well, I saw someone ask it, write me an episode of Jimmy Kimmel. And it had a monologue. Now, I will say this, I read it, and I was like, it's not as good. Like its
Yeah.
humor wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It's,
up to
you know, it was a little
snuff.
too dry. Like
It's
Yeah.
lacking the nuances
it
of a human
tried, but
being.
Yeah.
you know, you could print that
Um,
out and then just touch on it. But
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think it is, because that's the thing. Whenever, because artificial intelligence and the whole topic at large has been in news articles for quite a while now.
Mhm.
And most of the time when you see them, it's usually an opinion piece, or it's usually tagged with a clip of Elon Musk being like, we need to have regulations for it. And yeah, AI will get there, but we're already treating it like it is. And I know some people are going to argue, well, duh, stupid. It's because it is here. But my thing is that, like, it's not as advanced as people are making it out to be. Like, yes, it's smart. Yes, it's good, but it is still like it's not at the level that this type of shit that we're reading is making it out to be. It's not something where they just pop up the computer and they're like, "All right, write me a movie starring Adam Driver and blah blah blah."
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing though, like coming from a union environment, I'm
mm,
I'm not sure like how often these negotiations happen, but if this is like the first time in 15 years that something like this has happened, and let's say that let's say that they have a 5 year or even a 10 year like term contract for their union, right? How far is that technology going to advance within the next 5 years? How
ah,
far is it going to
yeah,
advance in the next 10 years? How far is it going to advance in the next 15 years if that's when the negotiations happen? Are riders going to be obsolete in that time frame? Absolutely. There's a good possibility that that
Well,
could happen.
yeah, but in a 10-year span though, and I can get behind them wanting to lock themselves in so that when the technology does get to that level of sophistication that they're secured a job and employment, I'm all for it. But like it they keep treating it like everything's already in obsolescence. Like it's already done. Like tomorrow they're gonna all sit in a room, they're gonna pop out a laptop, and the great Google brain is gonna give them the next big episode of fucking Modern Family. Like I don't think we're there yet. I don't
Well,
like realistically I don't.
I don't think that we're there yet, but if you take everything that is currently being produced and you feed all of that
yeah.
into one AI, within 3 months,
Well, you have to
it will
train
be
it.
making yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So if you have every look at this Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, NBC,
yeah.
Paramount, and Sony. If you take all of those people and they start feeding into one AI, then
Mhm.
within 6 months, it will be proficient enough based off of the criteria that they all set forth and the information that they all dumped into it to be proficient enough that they could get a script dumped out in their laps and they could have one person read that script, make minor corrections, and go straight to filming. Like, I know that the technology is not there yet, but it's a slippery slope once that technology starts once it starts becoming something, then it's not going to stop. Like it's
Well,
going to continue to get smarter and get and be more learned.
well, let me play devil's advocate here and pose the question: is that truly a bad thing? Because when you think about it, what's something that gets criticized in music a lot with music is the fact that when you pull up the credits, like eight fucking people wrote that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no individuality to it.
Right.
And if you have a scenario where you have a project, you have a guy assigned to being like, all right, I'm the writer for this show, utilizing AI for template creation and them still being able to go in and make it an original and keep everything on point and stuff, that's not a bad thing because you're freeing up 10 other writers to assign like
Yeah,
you
somebody's
can't.
still going to have to train it. So there'll be a
Yeah,
job in that. I mean,
Yeah.
but also just because there's not a writer staff of 10, 20 people working on this TV show, that
yeah,
like
I see where you're
that
going.
doesn't
Yeah.
make it any better. And
Yeah.
instead those resources can be put to be like, all right, well, instead of this dude sitting in a writer's room with his script for this show that's not even going to we're not even going to get to that point until so many months down the road where it's time to be like, all right, Steve, pull out your script for episode 307. All right, instead of that, that guy could be developing his idea, his original concept, the stuff that can get his name on the market.
Yeah.
And it could
Well,
free up
be a
for more
great tool.
content creation
Yeah.
instead of focusing all your resources on it. Because sometimes having everyone all in, the more doesn't always mean the merrier.
Well, and I agree. And this is the thing. This goes back into what we were talking about last week. Artificial intelligence as a whole needs to be developed as a tool and not a
Yeah.
be all end all.
Yeah.
And the thing with the writers I get the writer's standpoint because, okay, let's look at True Detective, right? True Detective was the brainchild of one individual that probably brought a couple of people on to help elaborate on certain things and flesh certain things out, right? Whereas you're cutting like this person and like his small group of writers that he has down to just this one specific
Yeah,
writer.
it starts compromising the vision at whole.
Right. But it's like, okay, then it comes down to like, okay, if you take a writer's room, like look at the South Park. You remember that documentary that they made several years ago about
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
was last minute down. Like when you see that writer's room, there's like what, 10 or 15 people in there? And they need a writer's room like that because of the time crunch that they had. It made sense to have a writer's room of that size, that many people working on it.
But I would also but I would argue too, I believe in that same documentary though, they do point out that Trey Parker writes that fucking show. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, those guys are there. Yeah, they have little ideas and they kind of bounce stuff. But at the end of the day, it always cut back to him in that office on a laptop typing up the script.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like if they minimize it, like you say, if they minimize it to where it's like one person with one vision, then the industry as a whole, is that going like is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing for writers and all that stuff? Like that's a debate to have, but also how much mediocre content are we going cuz like yes, not more is sometimes not good, but also if ever Tom Dick and Harry that went to school to be a writer is putting what they think is the next greatest idea in the world in there, they're the only person writing on it. Is there going to be like terrible things, like not terrible,
Well,
but not good things come from that.
well,
So it's like it's
it
double-edged sword
yeah.
there.
Well, it's as it's a harsh reality that just like with any profession, like just because you like doing it doesn't mean that should be what you're doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Well,
people don't want to hear that. And a lot of people don't like that. Like,
yeah.
and
Well, and
in regards to writing for TV, there's a lot of those folks up there that are propped up by the funding of that show, and they're not really providing anything.
yeah.
They need
Well,
to go. They need to go the way because they're stopping good stuff from getting made because they're eating up budget that shouldn't even it's inflating a budget that shouldn't even need to be that large.
yeah.
I mean,
And
there's a fucking reason why Chris Nolan's able to not only pump out a movie and meet deadlines, but under budget as well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Remember
and I
when
think the same can be applied for all other means of projects in the medium.
remember when the show Dexter had a little writer's room shake up and the show just completely changed? It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Or
and
The Walking Dead's another example too. Once it got taken out from being under Darabont and his team.
yeah. Yeah. And let me ask you guys this too, because this could signal the beginning of like not talking specifically with AI, but we I obviously see that there's a bubble that's going to burst
Yeah,
sooner rather than later with a content bubble, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much content coming out, binge watching things was a thing like 5 to 10 years ago, but now there's so much that people want to binge and so much that people want to watch that a lot of
well,
the good stuff kind of falls.
unless you've hopped on that wagon years ago
Yeah.
and you don't have to play catch up on the 8,000 different miniseries that have come out in that past 10 years,
Yeah.
then yeah, that's a daunting and overwhelming amount of content to go, okay, where do I start? Do I watch Stranger Things or do I watch, this other show?
I used to try to keep up with everything, dude, but it's
Or
just
do I go
impossible.
or do I go pre-streaming, and do I even try to tackle Lost anymore? There's
Yeah.
so many people that I hear always say, "Man, I really want to watch Lost, but I just, this, that, and
Just
the
don't have
other
the
insert
time.
reason."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's me. But
and and this
this,
and it's kind of funny because Lost was out and survived the last writer's strike.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was also the key reason why. And now some people were like, man, now this is clearly different because we have a full stop of any kind of production. But it was one of the reasons why Lost a lot of shows, and you can tell because it's almost like almost like an archaeologist when you're looking at like old river beds where you see the different layers of sediment. Um, there's an era where a lot of shows had either really short seasons like Heroes or really long seasons like Lost. And it was during that strike where they didn't know where it was going, so everything just stayed in that. It was like things were frozen for a moment there.
yeah. Yeah. So I feel like, more so with like the AI and all that kind of stuff, I do feel like that this is the beginning of the burst of the content bubble. And I mean,
Well, that'd be a good thing, I think, because
yeah,
what's gonna cause all these companies to do is sit down and have the hard discussions about, okay, what's worth keeping?
yeah,
This teen show that's only drawing 1.5 million views, you know, every 2 weeks, or do we cut that and draw that funding into this show that is like it's just on fire right now?
yeah. And I think that when this burst inevitably happens, I think that we'll get more of Watchmen style content where it's one season, the story's told, one and done, no follow up, no nothing. It's done.
I'm Yeah, and to tap into your Watchmen analogy there, I just want him to keep Damon Lindelof the fuck away from anything during this strike because he's
Well,
gonna ruin it. He's gonna fuck it up. He's gonna think we're giving us less is more when he's really just not delivering on anything.
well, he's in our next article here. So he says that the Star Wars exit wasn't his call. I was asked to leave. So it seems like the plans for the future of Star Wars forever are forever changing. Last year, it was reported that Lindelof was on board to serve as a writer for a new Star Wars feature film alongside co-writer Justin Britt Gibson, with Charmaine Obaid Chinoy set to direct. Earlier this year, it was reported that Lindelof and Britt Gibson had departed the project for reasons that weren't entirely clear. Different Star Wars projects have since been announced, none of which involve Lindelof. In the new interview with Esquire, Lindelof says that his exit from Star Wars was not his decision. He explains that he was shown the door by the power that be at Lucasfilm, further suggesting how disappointing it was for him as he had actually joined the franchise, making it past the preliminary talks and getting hired before he had to leave without his story seeing the light of day. I was in more than talks to join the Star Wars universe, he said. I joined the Star Wars universe and was asked to leave. While that must have been upsetting for Lindelof, he's not holding a grudge against Lucasfilm and Disney. He's keeping the door open to potentially revisit that opportunity in the future. The writer admits that he takes some inspiration from Yoda himself to learn from his failures and keep on trying. Perhaps one day he'll get a second shot at writing something for Star Wars with this mindset. Will I get back in line outside the club and try to get back in again? Absolutely, says the writer. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again, or again, try, as Yoda would say. Um, so his idea for the follow up, so they were always going to do a follow up on Ray. Like that was always going to be the intent from this 2025 Star Wars flick. But Lindelof wanted to set it 15 years past the events of Skywalker. And they didn't want to set it that far in the future. They wanted it to be set sooner. And he wouldn't, apparently, from some of the reports and things that I've read, is he wouldn't budge on it because he wanted to distance himself from the events of Skywalker, let them use their natural storytelling devices that they have, like Disney Plus and other films, to fill that time gap, that 15-year time gap. And they didn't want to do that. They wanted to do it in 5 years. And yeah, he got the axe because he wouldn't budge on it.
No, he got the axe because his script didn't have a resolution. It's like they get to this new base and then cuts to black. We don't know what happens.
Yeah,
Why?
part 2
Because mystery box.
and 3.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. Lindelof, to say that he hasn't made good stuff, it would be a lie. Lost was incredible, but
Watchmen.
ever since the information about Prometheus, where he was like, "No, man, let's split this up, whatever." Like this whole idea of taking an idea and just stretching it as thin as you can is just, I don't gel with that.
Well, it makes sense for him. I mean, it's job security and it's also allows more development of characters and plot.
Which is funny though, because like
Well,
he's the
but
creator of the
that
Watchmen,
goes.
and he didn't do it on that. It was a one and done
But
thing.
to me, that goes without saying. Like you're gonna have character development. You're gonna have all of that stuff. But it's the idea that you know, like we've had hours of discussion about Prometheus and what the coulda, shoulda, wouldas have been done. But the fact that it was a purposeful decision to make that movie end the way it did with no real connective tissue other than just a 2-second scene that's like, oh, yep, here's a reference. And it's, I don't know. And I would, as much as I enjoyed Watchmen, there were still aspects of Watchmen that I was like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? But, you know, just my opinion, man.
Yeah, it's fine though. Like at the end of the day, it wasn't the right fit. Like to me, it sounds like he probably heard through the grapevine that Favreau and Filoni didn't budge on their intention and direction that they wanted to take Mando. He probably stood on a very similar hill. And the powers that be over at Lucasfilm that have no fucking clue what they're doing was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So,
Well, I mean, for his credit, I will say at least he was trying to do what the company as a whole made a public statement about. At least he was actually putting in the work to try to distance from the Skywalker story.
yeah,
And that much I can commend.
yeah.
Because for all they're trying, we're still Skywalker heavy over here in the fucking Star Wars universe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and with it being because there was significant time jumps in that last trilogy that came out. So him wanting to get away from all that and deal because I think that that's an interesting enough idea. Like you could have a Ray that has already dealt with all of the shit that's happened in those trilogies and like
Well, not
look past it.
even Ray, man. Not even dealing with Ray, just like having a decision to be like, all right, we're gonna remove my story so far from canon. And as much as people hate Star Trek Discovery, that's one of the reasons that I liked it so much is because it removed itself from canon.
Yeah.
It flung itself so far into the future that the events of the current timeline that everybody fucking holds like gospel doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
And I think with Star Wars content, you have the ability to do that because time only moves one way, and the galaxy is established to be fully colonized and interactive. So there's thousands of years to explore beyond just the 100 plus years that we've been able to see happen with the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was hoping we would get with the Disney purchase is yeah, we would have our revisits from time to time. We would get our Mandalorian or something like that. But having stories like the Old Republic, the New Republic, all the areas that George never touched, but it's there,
Yeah.
and we just haven't that they've completely just not delivered on any of that.
Well, I mean, they're going into it with the safe bets. I mean, but look at who's in charge at Lucasfilm. So, what's the safe bet and what's familiar to somebody that's been there from the start? So,
Well,
that
it's not even that. They don't even go with the safe bet, man. Now it's just let's stay in the safe bet, but let's just keep doing one redundant thing after another and changing characters and plot lines and all the little nitpicky shit we've heard about Star Wars throughout the years. As much as some of it's as much as some of those opinions I disagree with, there's a lot of opinions that I do, and a lot of them are just glaringly obvious you know, with regards to like first off, we're going to take what's ultimately been the defined evil of the Star Wars saga. We're going to take it and make it the good guy at the end of it all cuz she's not Rey Skywalker, she's Rey Palpatine. The Emperor's granddaughter, clone, whatever you want to call it, is now the hero of Star Wars. Like, that doesn't make sense at all. No matter how you like, even with sitting through all of the sequel trilogy, the mental gymnastics needed to go from episode 1 to episode 9 and understanding as far as a narrative, you're like, this is fucking stupid. It's not even that there's any lapse in what like there's not even a lapse in like, the narrative cues. It's just not a good idea. Because whether you're a George Lucas loyalist or not, the guy established a universe where good and evil is purely defined. And while I'm open for the gray area, I don't mind it in other stories, doesn't really have a place in Star Wars, whether you enjoy that type of intrigue or not. But IMO.
yeah. So last up here, Blade drafts in True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto for script rewrite.
I mean,
Yeah,
are we getting a high class Blade movie?
I mean, so when it was announced in 2019, Blade seemed to be heading quickly to screen as part of the MCU's lineup of heroes and villains. However, now in 2023, and the movie is still to begin filming, cameras are set to start rolling in a month's time. But it seems that the saga of bringing the Daywalker to the Marvel Universe has thrown up another twist. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Blade's development hell is continuing right up to the line, with yet another new writer being brought in to try and perfect the script, this time in the form of True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto. Previously, it was believed that the film would be running off the script drafted by Michael Starbury, but it looks like even this late in the day, things are still being tinkered with, and Pizzolatto has reportedly been working on updating the script for the last few weeks. What exactly this will mean for the direction and tone of the movie is unclear, but the news is certainly exciting news for the MCU and could well increase the chances of Blade's success. True Detective was a huge hit for HBO, receiving critical acclaim and delivering a dark and brooding story across 3 seasons, with a fourth coming soon. Bringing a bit of this to the MCU movie could be just what the arrival of Blade needs, following reports that the script was originally not dark enough for Kevin Feige, and other rumors suggesting that Marshala Ali was unhappy with the lack of action in the film. With Ali having worked with uh, Pizzolatto on season 3 of True Detective, it is a reunion that will hopefully end with the same kind of praise that was lavished on that series. So, I mean, I feel like that True Detective tone, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That tone of like mystery yet complete despair at certain times, like all of that would factor in really well with a Blade movie where it can build that tension over time. Like, I mean, True Detective built tension all the way up until that final episode, in all the seasons. Notably the first and the third one, so I don't think that that's a bad thing at all.
No.
And who knows, like maybe they like the rewrites and he might go in there and completely rewrite the whole freaking thing at this point. And if that's the case and they like it and like what he's doing with it, like,
Well, I think specifically with the tension building that he can do,
yeah,
I think it's the unsettling aspect that he's able to like the way him and Fukunaga was able to capture that scene at the end of season 1 when Rust is staring off into the sky and he sees that crazy just fucking
yeah,
void galaxy. You know what I mean? Like really
yeah,
being able to take that and apply it to the MCU's really creepy aspects, like its paranormal side of things,
yeah.
um, I think it would be interesting to see how that turns out, and I think it's definitely got the space for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It
Because
makes me interested to check it out for sure, even more so than I was.
well, Michelle Ali was great in season 3.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, the shot at the end of that season, dude, where you're like, dude, he's still in the fucking jungle, man. Like he
yeah,
never left. Like I love that shit. Like especially when you're dealing with the whole thing where it's like you could apply that to like like because the thing with Blade, the beauty about Blade's character is that he doesn't have a defined canon to go by. I mean, yeah, there's stuff that he's in, but it's such a small amount of source material that he's got room that any kind of liberties that can be made on screen won't be met with a whole lot of backlash.
yeah,
You really just got to make sure he can kick ass, take names, and kill vampires. You know?
yeah. And I felt like he wrote that season 3 specifically for and around Marshala Ali. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I mean, dude, I mean, because that's my thing for an MCU film. You have uh Pizzolatto doing
Yeah,
script rewrites. Marshall Ali is your lead. You have the head of Marvel saying, "I want it to be darker," and even Marshall is like, "No, dude, like I'm a vampire hunter. I want to be killing shit."
yeah,
Like all that's adding up into just like a perfect little nugget of awesomeness, you know?
yeah. I really
Um,
feel like the Werewolf by Night really swayed that in the right direction.
I absolutely agreed, man. And I mean, Blade was one of my all-time favorite movies when I was a kid, dude.
Yeah,
And like as far as just like action, like it was like I'll never forget. I laid out of school just so I could rent it when it came out on Tuesday because I was too young to watch it in theaters. And sure enough, I rented VHS copy of Blade and sat at home and watched that motherfucker like 3 times, dude. I was just in there mouth breathing
yeah. Oh, I get it.
because some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill, dude.
I mean, it's crazy that he's writing Blade when the original Blade villain was Steven Dorff, who he worked with in True Detective. It's like the
Oh,
seven.
it goes
Yeah,
full Kevin Bacon, dude.
yeah, yeah. It's funny,
And
man.
there's even a reference in that too with fucking Guardians.
Yeah. So
But I mean, I hope they do. I hope they do. That I hope this movie becomes the big deal that I hope it is, because it's a chance for Marvel to take a property that's literally saved them from bankruptcy and come back and do it bigger and better.
Yeah. Give it the
Because
praise it deserves.
because theoretically, this movie and Spider-Man kicked off the MCU before they were even thinking about connecting this shit together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But hell, I'm ready for these trailers here, man. We got some good ones here.
Some good ones.
Some good ones, man.
Gran Turismo?
Oh yeah, this is Neil.
Seriously?
Neil Blomkamp.
Wait, he did this?
Yeah, he's directing it. Yeah.
So like Charlton Copley is gonna be a driver?
I hope so.
You know, he's
I hope he's like the pit boss. You know, he's like, pull that fucking car in here.
you gotta pick your right suspensions.
That's
This
what I
trailer
want
came
more
out
than
pretty
anything.
quick. It wasn't that long ago when you read the article about him
Yeah.
doing it. It's pretty quick trailer.
Well, I feel like it's just gonna be Ford versus Ferrari, the video game version.
That was a good movie. Have y'all seen it?
I mean,
No, I still
y'all need to
want
watch
well,
it. It's good.
I only
know what
say
you
it
mean,
because
but
I remember you.
yeah,
Well, I remember you bringing that up and saying that was good.
It
So
was good.
You know what I mean.
but it's got David Harbour in it.
This is based on a true story, by the way. I remember the article. So there was like a fan of Gran Turismo that got really good at it and actually went and drove and became successful. And I'm pretty sure that this is that adaptation.
That's a very cool angle.
That's a way to do it.
'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
Yeah.
how? Like, there's not really a story to Gran Turismo. It's just a racing game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
So-
ready when y'all are.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Damn. Why do you need to be able to run miles when you're just driving a car? Like,
G-forces.
oh, there it is. Oh yeah, these cars go fast. Oh yeah, everybody's gonna hate on him.
Yeah.
I like that David Harbour's the coach.
Yeah.
It's a good pick. A remix of the Nas song.
Doesn't look bad.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'll allow it, you know. I don't know if I have a choice, but I'll allow.
Well, it's cool that it's more of like it's based on something that just the game that involves the game. It's not, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's not an
Yeah.
adaptation or because there's really nothing to adaptate, you know.
Yeah, like Need for Speed.
Oh, there's plenty. Well, that's already been adapted.
Yeah.
That's Fast and the Furious.
Well, they made a Need for Speed movie
Oh yeah, that's right. With the
with
dude from
Aaron
Breaking
Paul in it.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
It
right.
wasn't good.
He's like, we gotta. What was chick's name from Breaking Bad? We gotta save her.
Hmm.
Michelin tires, bitch.
Yeah. Fat boys. All right, I'm ready.
Oh man, this is probably gonna be a shit show.
Transformers. We got to fucking transform. All right, 3, 2, 1,
Transformers
play.
93.
Is that DMX?
Really?
I mean,
Remember when the Power Rangers like went to the jungle?
yeah. This is it, right?
Yeah. Twin Towers,
World
huh?
Trade
Twin Towers?
Yeah.
Unicron.
Not Unicron. Oh goddamn. Okay.
So it's a prequel, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's Thanos.
Unicron is fucking crazy though. It's crazy that that's a villain.
Fuck out of here.
Well, I put this in the trailer.
Yeah, right.
Because that's kind of epic. Oh.
Man, the fucking Transformers timeline is more complicated than fucking anything. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
what's Optimus doing on Earth in 94?
Well, like the Bumblebee movie was a prequel. I think this is a sequel to the Bumblebee movie. Then the Mark Wahlberg movie was a sequel to the trilogy that we got with Witwicky. Like, I don't know, dude. It's fucking complicated. Like unnecessarily
I
complicated.
mean, so how many Transformer movies are there now?
This will be
6?
yeah. Yeah, 6 or 7. Cuz there was the trilogy and then the Mark Wahlberg and then Bumblebee. And I think that's it. So yeah. I don't
And I
know.
mean, and here's my thing. It looks about like the same caliber as the other ones, but I'll still argue that that first Transformers movie was good.
Oh yeah, for sure. But everybody said that the Bumblebee movie was incredible. I haven't watched it, of course, but everybody's like, it's kind of like they went back and rebooted it because it is a prequel that takes place like in the early 90s or something, late
Well,
80s, early 90s.
here's my proposal. Do we tackle Transformers eventually?
I mean, how many they gonna keep making? If we're gonna tackle that, we gotta tackle Fast Fast and Furious.
No, no, well, no. Let me refine it a bit. Do we
Eventually.
just do we pick up with Bumblebee?
I mean, Bumblebee was its own standalone thing, and this is like bringing the Bumblebee, not the human character, but the Bumblebee character, because that's what he looked like in that Bumblebee movie.
You
So
know, I'm
we
sorry.
could
I'm
have,
just gonna. I'll just have to put my foot down on it. I'd rather watch every shitty Transformers movie than to ever sit through all the Fast and Furious films, Griffin. I'm sorry.
it's
I'm just
family. It's
biased.
about family, dude.
Dude, my
All
family I
10
can
of
count
them.
on my hand, dude. I don't give a fuck about Fast and Furious, dog.
Dude, family, Trav.
No,
Family.
no, no. I don't care about my fourth cousin. Like, I don't even know who the fuck it is.
You don't want
Like,
Ludacris to be part of your family?
hell
You don't
no.
want The Rock to be part of your family? Statham?
No. No, we saw what happens when The Rock tries to be part of the Shazam family, and look what happened to that shit.
He pulled some strings.
Vin Diesel's just gonna vlog and talk very vaguely like he's fucked up and drunk. And I mean, dude, is it really a family you want to be a part of just for the sake of family?
Yeah, dude. Fast
It's
cars.
better that than not at all.
Yeah, fast cars and loose women, dude. Shit.
Man, it both ain't worth a damn.
Speaking of another franchise that I watched half the movies for, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of
Now,
Songbirds and Snakes.
normally I wouldn't be dropping this, but it's got the dink in it.
Yeah,
Man, they need to,
so this is, I don't know if this is a sequel or a prequel, but like this is outside of the Hunger Games, whatever that series is
Yeah.
called.
Well, it looks
The
like this
Hunger.
is the rich side. You know how we
Oh,
watched, you was the
Hunger
poor people
Games.
preparing to go fight? Well, this
Hunger
is the upper
Games. Where's
crust
the
preparing.
water? You know?
That's what it
oh,
looks
okay.
like.
Well, they're gonna fail.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's all building up
The
to
dink.
Katniss breaking the glass ceiling.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. I didn't ever think it would come back. I
Yeah,
thought that was
she wrote
done.
another book,
Ah,
so that's what this is. Yeah.
And listen,
Um,
I say this from I tried to give the Hunger Games a shot, both literature based and movies. Just didn't give a fuck.
here he is.
High
High bottom. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's your problem, sweetheart. This isn't an arena. It's an island, and it's Epstein Island.
Wartsman's there, the kneecap of the Tron.
So the Hunger Games is to show the world why they need law and order,
I don't know.
right?
Maybe. Has
This is
something to do with
why
our food too.
Yeah.
this
Right.
is why Orwellian nature persists, you know.
High bottom.
Be thankful you're not in the Hunger Games. Why does it have like Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts vibes?
Well, why does it have all these Nazi undertones? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I
Like,
mean, we know why, but
The
no,
dink.
high bottom. Let's throw that on the pile, dude. After we do Fast and the Furious and Transformers,
Sure,
we're
right
gonna run
after it.
through. Yeah, Hunger Games, baby.
I hope y'all enjoy those movies.
Trev was absent on the pod for 2 years. Why?
Yeah.
Well, about
Started
that.
with Fast and Furious. It was a rough
Yeah.
time. It was a downtime
2024
for the
just
podcast. It's like a
2024 just was
documentary.
not my year.
The podcast was going through
Haunting.
changes.
Yeah.
AI was alive.
I was really just Chat GPT the whole time.
Yeah. All
A
right.
Haunting in Venice.
Oh, it's your favorite kind of movie, Griffin?
Mm,
I mean, hey, it's about family. Why not talk to them when they're trying to
mm.
possess your fucking soul?
Look, in Fast and Furious, nobody dies. The family just gets
I beg to
larger.
differ. There's a lot of explosions, dog.
Yeah, but like none of the core family members die. The family just gets larger. Sometimes the bad
They
guys
just get
become your family.
they just get they just get severely maimed, right? There's no death.
Yeah, they're fine. They're
There's no Uncle Ben syndrome in the Fast series.
oh, this is based off of an Agatha Christie book, apparently. So, yeah, based on the novel Halloween Party.
It was
Okay.
Agatha all along.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is my last sorry. Wasn't that the thing in that video?
Yes.
Oh God, it's the bitch
Bet.
from Yellowstone,
It is.
and she's gonna be frightened in this. That's different for her range. This woman's blowing up, man. Isn't that the chick from Everything Everywhere?
Yeah.
That's why you don't listen to spooky, scary skeletons at midnight, dude. Is that Tina Fey? What a weird
Yeah.
cast.
Bratislava.
Mhm.
If the title starts as a haunting, I almost immediately check out.
Looks something.
I mean, it looks it's about family, Griffin. It's right up your alley, bro.
I mean,
I mean, the
I
ties
draw
that
the
bind.
I draw the line at contacting deceased members of the family.
Oh, but you're totally cool with driving a vehicle down the fucking side of a dam.
Look, Dominic Toretto would not contact the other
Hey,
side.
no. I beg to differ. He'd bust that Ouija board out in a heartbeat if he lost that bitch. Like,
He
come
lost,
back,
he lost her
Sam.
once or twice already. You
I
know, so
mean, as much as I watched the franchise, she died in a car wreck, so I don't know how she's even still around to fight in this new one. But
oh,
It's
she's
like her
back.
sister or
they slapped
something.
a Hemi in her head.
Oh, hit me head. Come here, give me that hit me head.
Hemi head. Like,
What is this platonic about?
just friends.
I think this is the same chick that was in that movie he did, like Neighbors or something, Next Door.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Well, like,
It was
it's a
pretty
Australian chick?
funny.
it's about a couple that loves each other, but they just never fuck. They never
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah, probably
And
have
they're
a
okay
very
with
weird
it.
relation. I mean, just judging off of the screenshot here where he's holding the fucking lizard
Yeah, like he's like
and
he'd
the
rather
way he's
hold
dressed. He
he'd
worried
rather
about getting
hold his
laid.
lizard. He'd rather jerk off in the corner, man.
Look at it.
Bucket
right.
hats are still bucket hats are the original fedora.
No, can't leave a comment, Apple. Cool. 3, 2, 1, play. Why do they always do that? Oh, this is a TV show. 10 episodes. Yeah, it's the chick from Neighbors.
Mm. Whoa. Oh, shit. Where's the comedy?
This is like a Lifetime movie in slow motion.
Yeah.
Like we see, like I see where this is gonna go. Don't you?
Yeah. I don't know about 10 episodes. Whew,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I could do an hour and a half.
Yeah,
but,
a movie.
Well,
yeah.
like
But
it looks like this movie
damn.
was or show was from the blonde hair he's rocking. I felt like Jonah Hill turned this show down,
I mean,
and Rogan was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it."
I need to get paid.
I mean,
She was great Neighbors, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
John Hamm and Tina Fey. Wake up, Maggie. I think I've got something to say to you.
All right, Rod.
All right, I'm
Rod,
ready.
Rod, don't sing about family.
Just Maggie.
Just fucking and times up fucking.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Why is this on E News?
Why is this brief nudity and drug use on R-rated news? Well, you were trying to snort cocaine through your dick hole. That's why we're here, sir.
Shitty
Why
hitman.
isn't that Will fucking.
Mhm.
What the fuck?
Oh, the guy accidentally killed the wrong Maggie Moore.
Well, now we don't have to watch it. It's just this deaf guy killing people.
Wash your ass. Just a movie. I was like, is this a show? There's a lot going on.
I'd peep it. It kind of has that like I Tanya feel to it, kind of. With the dude that like fucked up, don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of has that kind of feel to it. This is Taka.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for this. Let's see what this football is about. Football, guys. Row Tide.
Fuck football.
Is that Michael Fassbender? Kind of looks like him.
Yeah, Michael Cockbender, Elizabeth Moss,
All right, 3,
Will Arnett.
2, 1, play.
I mean, the whole family's
Why
there.
Will Arnett? Oh. This guy. I
Oh.
like this guy.
Will's the
It's like Jamaican bobsled team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going to show up and fucking take them to the top, dude. Tiger's been watching fucking Ted Lasso. He's Jimmy Dugan.
Jesus.
I can't believe that. That actually, I haven't laughed out loud in a long time like that.
He's going to make them great. I don't look bad.
What the fuck? What was that song in recently? I watched something recently where they had
That-
that song in it.
That fucking
Take it.
soccer ball bouncing off them motherfuckers' heads was great.
It doesn't look bad. I kind of want to see it.
I don't know. I haven't forgotten my Takai rant from earlier, so I'm still apprehensive.
I mean, it's about soccer. Expectations are already low.
You're a
Dude.
family man, dude. So just
Our
fucking
family's deaf, bro. He's still got it in him.
It's. I mean, he finds him a new family over in America and Samoa. So I mean, he's just one Vin Diesel away from Griffin giving that movie a full star.
I don't think there's enough room to get cars up to max speed over there.
I mean,
There's
hey,
not enough road.
they landed in single file, launching out of a plane, Griffin.
That was skill. If
Don't
they didn't have the power of family, they couldn't have done that.
hey, I think no. Like, let's just fucking move on. You're a lost cause of that shit, Griffin.
Oh, I'm excited about this though. Strange Way of Life. This is gonna be great.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. The poster looked cool.
This jacket.
Weird
What the
trailer.
fuck is going on?
Oh.
What the fuck is going on?
It's like a soap opera. I think this is based on a book. Strange Way of Life. I mean,
That was the most out of context trailer I have ever seen.
I mean,
Like that was the channel surfing levels of what the fuck.
wait, a new short by.
yeah, it'll
So
be a
it's a
short
short.
film. Yeah.
Okay, 30. The runtime is 31 minutes, including credits. Lots going on. Moves fast. Okay. Well, I mean that trailer
Makes a
moved
little
pretty
more
fucking.
sense. Yeah.
All right, I've held off on watching this.
I've watched the teaser, you know, the little 10-second teaser, but I haven't watched this one. I don't think. Maybe.
I can't believe it was that far along in production.
You know who's playing Sweet Tooth?
No.
All right. Samoa Joe is playing the physical version of Sweet Tooth. Will Arnett is doing the voice of Sweet Tooth.
So down.
Yeah, right. So I'm excited here.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Starring the Falcon.
All right.
I mean, that shot of that road shot, dude.
Yeah.
That looked. I mean, I'm down for shit like that for sure.
I like the post-apocalyptic world vibes, so
Yeah.
not too shabby. It
I
lives
hope
inside.
I hope that it's like with a name like Twisted Metal, you're gonna assume that there's gonna be rock music scattered throughout. I hope it just goes the complete opposite. I hope it's just ridiculous fucking music playing while they're doing this shit.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
This is from the producers of Get Out.
Get out.
Fine. See y'all. Have a good rest of the
Lives
Get
episode.
inside.
the fuck out. I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
from everybody but Jordan Peele.
I wish they'd stop doing that.
The
The trailer
pre-trailer?
starts
Yeah.
now.
It's like, yeah, I clicked on it.
Mm-hmm.
Digging the sound edit on this.
Well, if I can get it out of here, you know. That door just opened.
It's a really short person. Oh, it's more family, Griffin.
It's like the girl from The Ring. Look at that.
I'm interested in the concept of Middle Eastern
The
horror.
lore. Yeah.
That's mm-mm.
Creature design's creepy.
They're like,
Michael J.
was that her
White?
sister? Are they twins?
I think they look
'Cause
like
everybody's
twins.
like,
I
"Is your
don't
sister
know.
all right?" It's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That
it's
bitch is
like,
weird.
Or it'd be creepy if it's just like it takes the form of whatever it's trying to devour. So it looks like an inverted version of them, you know? I don't know. I don't know shit about what this creature's based off of or its lore, but that's gonna be the best parts of the movie is when, you know, they go to some teacher that busts out the old book. It's like you're dealing with this
Yeah.
guy, you know?
The outlaw Johnny Black.
I know someone I'm gonna forward this fucking video to now.
All right. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, it's got
There was
Spawn in it.
well, there's an older movie. The same.
The fuck?
What was?
Oh shit!
Oh, is this a for real modern day blaxploitation film?
It is. Cliff jumping. I love it.
I want to watch
Yes,
that so much.
yes.
We
Podlock.
gotta put it on the list.
Fucking Podlock.
That looks so fucking good, man.
When he slapped him, pulled his gun out, and put it back in, it was like
Dude.
nobody's smoother.
So here's my thing. I wonder what I would like to see an interview where we get Tarantino's opinion of this. Like, does he respect it? Does he feel like it's a mockery? Does you know what I mean?
I mean, I think that I I don't know, but I mean, he could be along for the ride like everybody else. Like he gets it, you know.
Yeah.
Like he kind of did the same thing, you know, with Django a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is he gonna be like, oh, these guys are picking up the same thing I picked up, or is it like, what the fuck are y'all doing,
Here's what's crazy. Okay, Michael J. White, he wrote, directed, and stars in it.
dude? Hell yeah,
And
man. The minute the dude, any time in a Western movie when somebody gets something shot out of their hand, that is always fucking hilarious to me.
so, so he wrote it with the guy that wrote Black Dynamite. I mean,
It's got the feel.
yeah. So, hell yeah, I want to watch that for sure.
Oh, it looks hilarious.
What's Mark Anthony up to here?
Oh yeah.
Family
I was like,
stuff in
Mark,
slow motion, I reckon, Griffin.
I mean,
all of the
I'm not.
violence.
I'm not letting it go. Familial violence.
A lot of guns in this trailer. All right, three,
hell
two,
yeah.
one, play. A lot of guns.
Keep the eye peeled for the brown pants.
Oh,
What?
All
I
the guns.
mean, yeah.
They all have the brown
Oh, this trailer's wild.
pants.
Phone can
And
alter
whatever that
time and
is, yeah.
seasons.
Look at this guy, dude.
This has taken the place of number one on the trailers so far. Just by the way, these guys have risky business into every shot.
Look how he's carrying that guy.
He said time travel phone. This is new. That's what he said.
I kind of want us to watch this. Yeah,
Police.
guys, let's try this one.
I mean, that was a time phone. They said it was a time phone in
I
the
mean,
closed captioning.
do we throw it on the pile?
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
it comes out, I'll be down to
I
watch
think
it.
it's a
It
worthy.
loo- it, it just looks so. I want to see their take on time travel.
It's going to be violence, dude.
We'll add it to the list because that trailer's new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arn Lung. This thing's got 3.9 million views.
Heard that the following arrived.
How many subscribers he's got? Almost 35 million.
mil.
Like
Crazy.
Mr.
Like
Beast had
all of
150 million today. I saw an article about it.
Damn.
I was like, damn.
This guy, I mean, dude, this guy is set for life.
Oh, yeah.
A lot, like 10 years ago, he was set. You know.
All right,
Man, the
3,
people.
2, 1, play. You know, we watched a trailer of a little short he did a while back.
Yeah.
I see what we're doing here. We're gonna spin it into the real shot from the movie now. That was the clip from the game.
Yeah.
It's a little tight in here, you know.
Yeah.
That's how you do a trailer,
Yeah.
especially
Hell
a
yeah.
teaser.
Heckin' yeah, bro. So what do we got next week?
Shazam.
Oh, Fury of the Gods. I'm ready. And then after that, we got Evil Dead, dude. I'm pretty excited.
Didn't you watch this in Shazam 2 in theaters, Griffin?
No, I didn't go see this one.
For some reason, I thought you did. Okay, so we're all going into it cold.
He saw Black
Yeah.
Adam, right?
No, I watched it
Oh.
at home.
It was something.
I saw Ant-Man. I went to the theater and watched Ant-Man.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, and Guardians comes out Friday.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've already talked to my brothers. We may try to go watch it Sunday, depending on how everything shakes out. But so I may have a pre-star for that one, depending on, or a pre-rating.
So
Depending.
far, I've seen nothing but good stuff about it.
Yeah, same. So I'm ready.
Hell yeah. Shazam next week.
Shazam! Shazam! Shazam!
Hit it.
Yeah, checks in the mail. What was it? Ramp it up. Was it hit it?
It was hit it.
Yeah, checks in the mail.
Engage.